Welcome to the Hank Cisco Show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't touch that remote. We got a great show. This year is the year of the women. So I have two women guests here today, okay? And a lot of experience here. I got newspaper reporters and also TV hosts. And so we're going to talk about a lot of different things. Because you pick up the newspaper, it isn't one story. It's a lot of stories you read, see. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hit here, there, left, like a left and right. Okay, ready? Now, in this corner. Ready. Tell them who you are.
Hi, I'm DeGrassa. I'm an editor of the Delaware County weekly newspapers, Town Talk, and the News and Press of Delaware County. And I also write for the Delaware County Daily and Sunday Times.
So you're like a reporter.
I'm like an editor / reporter / blogger.
And you interview people.
I
right?
love interviewing people.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
well,
I do.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, your friend, tell her who she is. Who is she?
Barbara Zippi, the hostess with the mostest.
All right.
She wears 100 hats.
What do you do?
Go, Barb.
So my name is Barbara Zippi, and I host a TV program called Ciao Bella Living Italian Style, and I write for the Italian American Herald newspaper.
Oh, okay.
And today I brought you one of the most active Delaware County and actually regional Italian American writers. Peg is great at her job. She has interviewed some great celebrities.
Right. Well, tell us some of the celebrities you interviewed.
Well, about 2 weeks ago, I interviewed Guy Fieri.
Who?
You know, he is from the Food Network.
Oh. All right.
And then you interviewed, it just left my mind.
Andre Pacelli.
You interviewed Andre Pacelli.
That's big news.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right.
And Geraldo Rivera.
Yeah.
You know Geraldo Rivera.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Peg had a private interview with him when he came to media.
Oh.
Yes, she was the only
He's
reporter.
the journalist of journalists.
Yeah. Well, you're involved with the veterans, too.
So I'm involved with the Veterans Memorial down in Delaware County as well.
And our good friend is the
Guy
contributor.
Fasano, he was here.
Yeah, what's his name?
Guy Fasano.
And he brought a veteran with paralyzed with a broken neck or so.
He brought Rusty Carter, who had a paraplegic accident in the military.
I want to bring him back. I want to bring him back sometime, Veterans Day or something to do with that.
He's a great story.
Yeah.
He is a great story. And a lot of Italian Americans have helped. Like Guy Fasano is very active in the Italian community, but representing Italians at their memorial.
Good.
So I want to talk about the Italian newspaper a little bit.
Tell me about that.
Because
hey, let me just say one thing. Got a little bit of Italian touch here, so we're going to be talking a little bit about Italian. Maybe my parents come from Sicily. They were. they were born in Sicily, but I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
And my
but
family.
Let me tell you, it's wonderful. Now, let's go.
My family came from the Abruzzi area. Where did your family come from?
Sicily.
Sicily. Oh.
Sicily.
Wow, and John Doyle's family's from he's half Sicilian too.
Where they from?
Sicily. He said Sicily.
He's half Irish.
Well, I'm really
I was
outnumbered.
born in Ireland, Coney Island. No.
Actually, I'm outnumbered. I'm the Abruzzi person. But this Italian American
Tell me about that newspaper.
There's a really great guy who took the time to do this, and his name is Rob Martinelli. And his family publishes this newspaper once a month. It covers Pennsylvania, around here, Philadelphia, greater area.
It only costs $27
a year.
A year?
Right. And it covers New Jersey. It covers Delaware. It's a great newspaper for Italian news to share.
You know what I like about it?
What?
Recipes. Different recipes. A lot of la mangia.
You're right, because Italians, what are we famous for? Food.
Yeah.
And next month I'm going to be writing on Antoinette. You took me to meet the pasta lady.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you met her.
Right. So she's going to be in the December issue. In December, yes.
Next
month.
Okay.
Next month.
Well, let me just say one thing.
What?
Yesterday was a vote. I voted, okay? Let me just say one thing. Congratulations to the winners. The losers, get back in shape and come back later, okay? But let me say this. A winner don't have to explain, and a loser nobody wants to listen to if you're going to cry. So a winner's a winner. Okay, so congratulations. Do your job. You're voted to do a job. Do it. If not, forget about it. Go ahead. All right, now hit it.
Good point. So going back to the Italian Americans and in this
Right.
region here, the Italian newspaper. Peg is the editor of 4 weekly newspapers. Newspapers are still a good source of information.
I subscribe to the local newspaper, know what's going on, you know who's having a party, who died, who's sick, who's bobbing and weaving.
You're
Right,
right.
and you
jail,
can say
who's coming out of jail, everything.
You could say what you want about websites, but people still call you up. But when are we going to be in print? They still care about the printed product as well.
Right. I know some of my best friends worked for newspapers, way back. Mike Pesta and
Stan Husky.
so many guys.
Right.
Stan
With the
Husky
Elmwood
with that,
Park
and
Zoo.
it's
Stan
now with
Husky, yeah.
Right.
Dick Dean, Johnny Nicola, they were all Bridgeport. They wrote notes, and they write just a section about news in Bridgeport. If somebody sneezed, he would hit in there.
Right, and Delaware County, Phil Herron, he's
Right.
Delaware County Daily Times editor. He's like an icon. He does a fabulous job.
He is, and we
Fabulous
share the
job.
same birthday. Phil Herron, her editor, her publisher, and I share the same birthday. But that's the
You're
news.
top shelf. Right.
That's the news, Hank. Newspapers are not dead. As much
No.
as people go on the website, I think it's important for the families to introduce their children to the newspapers.
Yeah, I said when the newspaper was like they were losing guys, firing guys, laying people off and all. I said, why can't the government subsidize? He said, no, because that way you
Right,
don't want
they couldn't
anybody
be
in the
fair.
connection. You got to be
Right.
independent.
You're right.
That's
But
very
there's
important.
something's got to be doing. I don't know. They should do something. Like they're somebody's going to have a fundraiser and they're going to have sell some chances. Yeah, subscription for a year. That'd be the prize. Second
Right.
prize.
I
So that's
think
the way to do
you,
it.
the
I
support
think you were the most the one that brought the most subscriptions in from the Norristown community for the Italian newspaper.
Yeah.
You invited me to a dinner one night, and you gave me like 30 checks for subscriptions
Yeah.
to everybody and anybody
And
in
I think
Norristown.
not only that, you learn something about the history behind the people. My real name that I was born and baptized, Francis Ciccio Ciaccio, Ciaccio. When I went to New York, the box professional, my manager said, nobody can pronounce that. We'll call you Cisco. So that's why I use that name there.
Well, you're talking about Italians, right? And one of the things that Peg recently did was covered your Rizzo.
Right, down
Let's
at
talk
Memorial.
about
That's how I
Frank
met
Rizzo.
you, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that day.
Well, actually, I want Peg to give us her impressions of the Frank Rizzo
It was a
Memorial Day.
very hot
Yeah.
day, right? You remember how hot it was. But we had a great turnout, and we were there to say it's not right to move the Frank Rizzo statue.
Yeah.
And we were supported by the police there. We were supported.
Oh, yeah,
People
there
came
was
out
a
from
police
all
all around
over,
there.
all over to come out to say the same thing. It's not fair, and it's not right to move.
No, I think they changed their mind now. It's
They
gonna
did.
stay
So
there.
what
the
they
good one.
did,
They did.
and that's the thing to report here today, because that was in the middle of July on that hot day. You and Peg and
Yeah,
all
it was
those
hot.
people
It was
were
hot.
at the steps of the Frank Rizzo statue. And after that demonstration, which was all peaceful, right? They decided to wait until the plaza is renovated to decide what to do. So we still have to be aware, and I think that the Italians still need to be active so they're in the committee to redesign the plaza so they could protect Frank's home. So it's exciting, and also it was a little sad because Carmela Rizzo,
Yes.
which
died.
was 101 years old,
She died that day.
she died.
We didn't know that.
I
We
know.
didn't know that.
We didn't know that, but
No.
Frank Rizzo Jr. was supposed to come and
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
And then we found
We had
that
a
out
reason
after
why.
the
And
fact.
why? Yes.
Well, God bless her. She's
But
up
Joe,
in heaven.
but Joe Gale came out and gave a beautiful speech.
Yeah, it was the commissioner, and he did a nice job, And,
And Captain Lou Cavalieri came out from
yeah,
the Chapel of the
he's
Four
was an
Chaplains.
admiral.
He was a captain in the Navy.
Captain's higher than an admiral.
I think an admiral's higher than a captain, but he's the executive chairman at the Chapel of the Four Chaplains in Philadelphia.
I was honored with that about 20 years ago.
Yeah, down at the Navy Yard.
Yeah, do you think my name's still on the board?
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's our turn to turn the tables on you today, Hank.
You know,
Hank Cisco.
we talk about discrimination and talking about different things, like say, call different people different names and all. And I was a policeman, head of juvenile division in Norristown, and was 4th of July, and everybody's shooting fireworks, and they were throwing sparklers on top of the awnings, the canvas on it would burn, So finally we got kids, apprehended the kids with all this here fireworks and all, because some of them get dangerous. And here's one of the thing here, Dago bomb. What's this? I mean, that's the name they used to call. See, and I look at it and says, well, what is this? It's a law book here. Law book. And then it says here, Dago bomb. So I called the state senator, Butier. I said, what's the story? Next thing you know, he got a letter, the head of Rocco Rello, the head of the state police, late legislator, everybody, and they put letters and they changed it, So, and then there was another outfit, the union outfit, and they had on there Dago. And I called the guy. He says, we don't know we don't know what it means. You don't? I'm going to tell you what it means. It's discriminating against Italian, Portuguese, and
Spanish.
So you got three countries you're insulting. Stop it. Call them different names, everybody nationalities and all. So we did that. Next thing you know, they took it out of the law book. And
I want to relate this story because you were one of the first guests on my Ciao Bella Living Italian Style TV show, right? And when I interviewed you, you talked about this book and how you changed history by getting the name Dago bomb out of this book.
Right.
I was afraid just a couple years ago to ask you, because we never say the word Dago out loud as Italians. It's not a nice word. And this was in 1964. That's not too long ago.
No.
Okay?
No.
And you took, how long did it take to get this changed?
About a month. They took it up there. And they got, next thing you know, he put the thing on there. Let me see.
It took about...
Up in Harrisburg.
I think it took till 1986.
Yeah, I grabbed myself an Italian, I got a Jewish lawyer, Steve Usum, and the local Borman campaigns explodes use of ethnic slur. And then here's another, and where's another one here? There's letters here from all different congressmen and everybody. Everybody sent letters over there.
Everybody supported you.
And then here's one from Chuck Stone, who wrote for the Daily News. Columbus and the Dago bomb, and it tells here about how I did it. Chuck Stone is Afro-American, hard-hitting guy. He used to lock horns with Frank Rizzo.
Okay.
So I was a friend of Frank Rizzo, and here I was both my friends. And I says, Chuck, Frank Rizzo, he's a good guy. You're a good guy. Why don't you get together? Hank, he says, I like the guy. He says, but he says the craziest things. He sounds like Trump. Right. He gets the job done, but he don't like what they're saying. So we became great friends, and
he supported your efforts.
Yeah, he liked. And here's another one here. Building officials and code administration international.
Right.
And there they had a letter there. Dago bomb. I got my mail. I had a lawyer. Steve Usum. Steve. He sends a letter to him. And finally, I was at a conference down in New Orleans.
Right.
And there was about 1,500 people in the thing. So I got all Italian policemen, doctors, lawyers, psychiatrists. I says, write a letter to this outfit. And they sent a letter. It says here, we're getting letters from all over. He says, even the Pope.
Even the Pope.
They took it out.
And it shows you that newspapers document
somebody that had some discriminating remarks, slurs against your nationality or your religion, go after them. Go ahead.
Well, I want to bring to your viewers' attention that it wasn't until 1986 that book was that it
Changed.
all got changed, because
Yeah.
that book was from 1964.
Yes.
And when we talk about the discrimination of all nationalities, Hank,
Yes.
the word Dago means dark-skinned foreigner, especially Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. And that was according to Funk and Wagnall, because that was your research.
Right,
okay?
right. Oh, yeah.
So when we try to say, let's protect Columbus Day as our Italian Heritage Day, our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren forget that we were called Dagos. My grandparents that were immigrants were called that name, and it wasn't nice.
Yeah. Well, you know, not only was it discriminating, but it was spelled wrong. They spelled it D-A-Y-G-O. There's no name like that in the dictionary. We looked at the dictionary. I have it there. I have it of all
Here
the
it is,
dictionaries.
here it is.
Of all the dictionaries, there's no, Dago bomb, no such word, misspelled. Okay, so if it was to be spelled D-A-G-O, then boom, then you get a punch in the nose. Okay.
Right. So
but that's it. I did that research. And it's a lot of fun. When you see something wrong, do something to straighten it out. That's
And
what
it only
America's
takes
all
one
about.
person.
Huh?
One person to
Well,
remove an
it
injustice.
don't take a meeting. You know, you
Right.
don't have to call a meeting. You call a meeting, half of the time you don't get anything done.
No, but you know who to call and who to reach out to,
Well,
and you
yeah.
can make change. One person can make a change.
I was a sergeant, you know, but I ride a lot of cages.
You did. I know that.
But I'm not against. This is what makes this country strong and good.
And
know,
we're not against any
Here
nationality.
I am. It says here, Cisco, my real name.
Right.
It's like, explodes, overturned Dago bomb, an old statute over there in a law book.
And speaking
So,
of newspapers,
I
I
had-
love all your
And then I have the
reprints.
Rocco Rella was head of the state police. He sent a letter, you know, congratulations. And state legislators, congressmen, and everybody all jumped in.
It was a big achievement,
lot of
and
fun.
that's why today, when we hear about all the different nationalities and minorities being bullied and having name calling, even the Italians went through it.
Yeah.
It's just that we went through it in the
Right.
60s, 70s, and 80s,
Right.
and it's already 2018, and people forget. People's memories are
Well, you know,
short.
I belong to Holy Savior Church. And then when I moved over to Green Street, I was in the St. Patrick's, or Chester Street. I was one block away from St. Patrick's. I couldn't go to St. Patrick's School. My sisters couldn't go there. I had to go 3 blocks past and go to Italian parish. You know, couldn't go because an Irish parish there. And then my father used to fix shoes. He was a shoemaker. In the convent, there was maybe 15, 20 nuns, you know. And they used to take all the shoes down there to my father. My father would fix them up for nothing, you know. So when then one of my sisters couldn't go to St. Patrick's Church, we were a block away. So finally this nun brought a whole bag of shoes to our house. Just, here, give them to your husband. And my mother talked a little English and half Italian, you know. She says, what for? She says, well, your husband, he fixes our shoes. And yeah, well, how come my husband fixed your shoes and then my daughter can't go to your school? You know. So this nun was a rebel. She went down there and raised hell, you know. And then next thing you know, my daughters went to
Your
St. Patrick's
sisters
School
went
and we
to-
could break it up.
Right.
And so then we had no deaths in our family. But my grandfather died. He was living with us. So I was in charge of the funeral, getting it this, do that. I went to the church and I talked to the priest. I said, I want to get him to St. Patrick's Cemetery. It's okay. So we went out to pick a spot. And then in front of the cemetery was all empty, you know. I said, well, I want my grandfather here. Oh, no. He says, all the Italians in the back. Reminds me like the Afro-Americans sit in the back of the bus.
In the
I
cemetery?
said, what do you mean? He says, well, that's the way it is. So over here, this was empty. It's Irish parish. And then all the Italians were there. The tombstones were bumping into each other. Okay. But then we had Father Moores was head of the Bishop Kenrick. I told him about it. He didn't change it now. You got Italians all over the cemetery, you know. So it takes somebody to
Right.
unlock it. If you see somebody discriminate against your nationality, your religion, whatever, you know. So I'm 94. Friday, I'm going to be 95.
That's right.
I'm going to shake, rattle, and roll, baby.
So you're going to be 95 doing the Hank Cisco show for 30 years.
And I've been doing this show for 30 years, yeah.
And you've been an advocate for the community on all
Yes,
this
yes,
Italian.
Yeah. You know, in
in our-
Norristown, I brought up in Norristown 3 daughters and 1 son, you know, and they went to school here, you know, everything's all right. So someday Norristown's going to rise again, but it takes a little time, you know. That's another story.
But Hank, when I got to meet you a few years ago, and you taught me how to honor your ancestry and the community. You're ambassador to Norristown.
Yeah, they appointed me
the only
embarrassing.
ambassador in the United States.
Yeah, but it's just it's a ceremonial thing. I don't know power.
I think that
the only power I have, I tell people, if you get a parking ticket, mention my name, pay the fine. That's the kind of power I got. So come on, tell me a little bit more about you both of you. Come on.
Well, let's talk about the press club.
let's do that.
We're both past presidents of the Delaware County Press Club, and
Now, the
that's
press club takes in what?
well, it's Delaware County. We have journalists, PR people, anyone in communications,
Writers, photographers, printers, anybody that has to do
Publishers.
with
Well, you still have the TV show,
Authors.
Radnor 2?
And I'm on
Is that
Radnor
still
on YouTube.
still active?
On Radnor 21, Chow Bell Living Italian Style. The archive shows are there right now.
Yeah, I got some
Yes.
good people to you interview. You ought to get John Doyle, the most talented guy around here. So
We'll have
one of
to
these
do
days.
that soon. We'll have to do that. So the press club also serves Montgomery County, Chester
Bucks
County,
County.
Delaware County, Bucks County.
Philadelphia County, anybody who
yeah, you know, the newspaper is something. I mean, you're gonna the TV, boom, boom, flashes on, and that's it. But newspaper, at least I can go back to it, and I talk to somebody, say, look, see this, look, see.
Right.
That's the difference, and I
But
like
the
that.
power of the press,
Right.
especially the printed word,
Right.
people still want to see their stories in the newspaper.
Right.
They want to see their friends' pictures in the newspaper.
Right.
If-
So,
people always
right,
want to see the actual physical version of the newspaper.
well, what else? What else do we want to bring up?
So we want to talk about some of the exciting upcoming guests at the press club.
All right, go ahead.
Because we had Effley Bailey as a speaker.
We've had an amazing lineup of speakers. This month coming up on the 19th, it's a Monday night. We're going to have former Congressman Kurt Weldon as our guest.
Weldon.
He just recently wrote a book. He was a lifelong firefighter from when he was young, and he just recently awakened in the Sleeping Giant is the name of the book. And
Sleeping Giant.
and he wrote how he changed the course of things for firefighters in the whole United States due to different caucuses and committees that he was on when he was in Washington. So the book is very interesting, and he's going to be our guest in November. And you can see our lineup of guests at
good.
www.thepressclubpa.org. And we have a whole great lineup coming up. And our past lineup, how many people have we had?
Oh, we've had Governor Rendell. We've had practically every mayor of the city of Philadelphia.
We had the mayor of Atlantic City.
Atlantic City's mayor, and Ross, the police chief of the Philadelphia. What a great guy that
Who's
Ross
that?
is. Police Chief Ross.
Oh, yeah.
The commissioner of the police
He's still
commissioner.
there.
Police
still
commissioner.
there.
He's great. He was he came
I like
to
to get
speak
him
to
on
the
my
press
show.
club. He's a great guest. He
Oh, he
talks.
would be an
He's
amazing guest.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I became close friends with Frank Rizzo because the newspaper then was the Bulletin, you know. We
Sure.
had then there was the Record. Record used to come out at 8 o'clock, you know. And so they called me the Cisco Kid, and he was Cisco Kid, and he had a pearl handle, and I had a pearl handle. So one day, somebody told me to put an article in the Philadelphia Bulletin, about Cisco Kid in Northtown. Next thing, I get a phone call from him. Who the hell are you? I think he used a little bit of language like that. And he said, so I said, yeah, my name is Cisco, but I changed it because of boxing. So he said, I want to come on down. I want to have lunch with us. Okay, from then on, we became great friends. And I became Commissioner O'Neill was the commissioner then. And we used to do it. So
And weren't you a pallbearer
Yeah.
at Frank's funeral?
Yeah, I remember. I was working. I was in the county detective, and I was with his brother-in-law, Gus Colella, and we heard the news on the radio that he's on his that Carmela's on her way down to the hospital. Frank just got a heart attack or something, So we dashed down, and next thing we went to the house, and then the next thing you know, people were coming down, and they have a little slope. They were in the street, newspaper men, and people were bringing food and stuff, So I was helping the family there, was helping out, It was everybody, newspaper people, radio, TV announcers. And so finally, the priest came and said, we're going to prepare for the funeral. And he says, who do you want for thing? So Carmela says, I want Hank Cisco to be one of the pallbearers, I never worked for him or anything, but, I was just a friend, because you
true
go to the
friend.
house. I was with him the last week he was a mayor, and then all the time he was in retirement. I would be over there eating peanuts or something, So that was quite an experience, and being a pallbearer and being in the funeral. And I think there was eight of us. I think 4 on each side, and his bodyguards, and so they were all sitting there. And I said to the mass was over. I said, you guys better go to the toilet, because after we're going to go, we're going to be in the car, and we're going to go to the cemetery, and ain't no toilets in the cemetery. You better go. No. I said, I don't know if you're a Catholic or not, but I'm telling you. So we go on next thing, But all right, now we got a little bit of section.
All
We
right,
got
I want
Neil
to say
Gelb.
I want to say something about the Gelbs.
Go ahead.
Okay? Because Hank Cisco, 95 years old, people don't have to retire. You're proof of that.
No.
And you might have known everybody in the city of Philadelphia, from Frank Rizzo and all those power
Right.
people. But when I saw a picture of you backstage with Andre Pacelli,
Oh, yeah.
okay, you are the most famous man, even internationally, Hank, because
I don't
of your
know.
relationship with the Gelbs.
I just like to smile, I like to sing. Hey, gombari, si wassanari. Listen, we only got 30 seconds. Wrap it up. What do you want to say?
This was amazing being on your show. I think you're amazing. I want to say happy 95th birthday.
Oh, thank you
That's
so much.
amazing.
I can't wait to go to your birthday party.
Okay, cut two, right?
And
Okay.
and Hank, thank you lots for welcoming
So,
me.
thank you so much. Newspaper, right? Got everything here. Here's the boxing gloves for you.
Yeah, these are
you,
real
right?
cute.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for allowing us to come into your home. And may God bless each and every one. And God bless all the winners that got elected to do a job. Do your job. Okay. Thank you.
Amen.
May God bless each and every one. Grazia. Grazia.
Ciao, Bella.
Barbara.
Thanks.
And okay. Adios, amigos. Finish.